Words from Psalm 27. This is the psalm, the poem that we say every day this month of Elul, a special psalm that is chanted every day during this month of Elul. And so tonight we're going to open up this psalm and step on in and see what the psalm is bringing us and why every day for this month of Elul, this month that precedes Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Why do we say this every day? I want to share also that I'm in an adventure with glasses. There's lots of glasses up here, although I will say these are Duvid's, but there are lots of glasses up here. And I'm just figuring it out. As a woman who has had good eyesight my whole life, now that's changing. So do we just do readers, or do we do like the ones with the distance and the readers? So that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try it in advance of the high holidays, because you know it's an adventure to age. But here we go. You know that thing? I'm dealing with that thing. So be with me. But I'm not worried because this poem has me. This psalm has me. So in this month of Elul, we read Psalm 27, and it's a newer custom for our people, meaning it only started around the 1700s. And now, since the custom is so widespread, Rabbi Alan Cooper says it seems surprising maybe that it only started around the 1700s and is not in the Talmud. And the first mention we have of this is in a book entitled Shem Tov Katan by the Kabbalist Benjamin Banish. It was published in 1706, and he says here there are mystical secrets for you concerning anyone who recites this psalm from Rosh Chodesh, which means the new month of Elul, until after Simchat Torah. So even if there's an evil decree that somebody has made against you, if you are chanting this psalm every day, you are going to be okay. And that decree will be annulled. There are 13 repetitions of the divine name inside of this psalm. And that's part of its mystical power, he said. But there are still other interpretations. Another one is that in the book of Leviticus, at the beginning of the priestly ritual for Aaron, which we read and discuss on Yom Kippur for Aaron, it says, with this, bazot, Aaron came into the sanctuary. And then we find in Psalm 27, bazot ani boteach, with this I trust. So here is a link. Here is a link between these two. And also we hear in this what the Midrash says is Yom Kippur, where we say my light. Rosh Hashanah, where we say my light, and Yom Kippur, where we say my help, my light and my help. So let's dive in to Psalm 27 now together, friends, using a mix of Robert Alter's translation and the JPS translation and my own translation. That was for you rabbinical students. I see you. I know you're sprinkled here, okay? We're rabbis too in the room. We like to know who the translation is because, friends, every translation is an act of interpretation. So let's just be aware of that. Every time we are translating, we're saying something, which leads me to this next little note before we dive in, and that is the name of God. It is unpronounceable. It is unpronounceable. We don't have the vowels. We don't know how to say it. On purpose, we don't know how to say it. So when you hear traditions that say things like Yahweh or Jehovah, you can be pretty clear that that's not us, because we do not know how to say it. And we have not added vowels that are not there. So what does that leave us? It leaves us choices through the centuries as a people about what to do with this incredible divine name that probably is in a verb form that points towards continuous becoming. That which is continuously becoming. That's a lot of words, though, every time. Although I do like continuous becoming as a way to name the divine. But usually what has been chosen is something that's called a circumlocution, a word that's a stand-in for the word. So we say Adonai or Hashem, the name, or a classic one, the Lord. However, the text does not say the Lord. So if that has ever been a barrier for you, you can just let that fly away now, because that's not what it says. Except when it does, but that's a different conversation. But that is not normally what is there for the stand-in, for the unpronounceable name of God. And also, if we just said the sounds, it would be something like this. Another fair choice, a big exhale when we come upon the divine name. It helps us, friends, to remember that we don't know, that we are pointing towards, we are always pointing towards, we are always trying to discover and know, and we don't know, and know, and don't know. Okay, here we go. Psalm 27 of David, God is my light, Rosh Hashanah, and my help, Yom Kippur. Whom should I fear? God, continuous becoming, is my life stronghold. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers draw near to me to eat my flesh, to devour my flesh, my foes and my enemies, they trip and they fall. Though a camp is marshaled against me, my heart shall not fear. Though battle is roused against me, nonetheless, do I trust? Bazot ani boteach. Still in this, I trust. One thing I ask, only that I seek, that I get to dwell in the house of God. Shviti bebeit Adonai kol yamei chayai, all the days of my life, and to behold sweetness and to gaze on her palace. I will be sheltered in God's pavilion, the sukkah, on an evil day, granted the protection of God's tent, and raised up high upon a rock. For they hide me in their shelter on the day of evil, conceal me in the recess of their tent. On a rock I am raised up. Now my head is held high over my enemies round about. I sacrifice in that tent with shouts of joy, singing and chanting a hymn to the continuous becoming. Wow! That is some trust. That is some assurance. That is deep and profound knowing that you are secure and solid. Feeling assured that there is a place, there is a tent, there's a sukkah, there is a refuge where I am held. And in this place, I am so protected and so trusting that I can sing out in joy. Okay, but friends, that is just the first part of the psalm. Because then we get a pretty big shift. Then we get a pretty profound turn right in the middle here. Verse 7. Hear, Eternal One, when I call out, have mercy on me, answer me. Va'aneni, answer me. On your behalf, my heart says, seek my face. And I do seek your face. Don't hide your face from me. Do not thrust aside your servant in anger. You've ever been my help, but don't forsake me. Do not abandon me, God. Do not abandon me. God of my rescue, though my father and my mother, though my parents have abandoned me, you will take me in, right? Show me your way, Eternal One. Lead me on a level path because of all these adversaries. Do not put me in the anger of my foes, for false witnesses rose against me, outrageous deposers. Okay, there was a lot of assurance, and now there's a lot of desperation, and some anger, and some despair. Do not hide from me. And then, as if to convince themselves, the psalm ends here. Lulei. But if I trust to see God's greatness in the land of the living, let's look to God and be strong and be of courage. Amen. We'll look to God. So, scholars have wondered, are these two different poets, two different psalmists, two different periods of time that were mashed together? But I think you know where I'm going. No, of course they weren't. This is one human poem, really right inside of that place. It's capturing the both, and that is where we live. We live from time to time in the confidence, and we live in the pleading and in the doubt. And even more, we live in that ridge, in that canyon we traverse daily in the space between the two. In the place of assurance and faith and trust, and the place of fear and not so sureness. How we get here, how we get there. We traverse this. It's so beautiful. It's so challenging. Here in the ridges of this canyon, it's what it is to be human. A human who is trying, who is growing, kol yamei chayai, all the days of our life. And then here in this verse about the sukkah, about the shelter, teaching shares that divine protection feels like dwelling in a fragile, temporary, yet deeply secure refuge. We're doing this traverse for our own selves daily, and also doing this with those we love. And oh, is it very much inside the reality of being a parent. We're having a Nefesh baby boom at the moment. Everybody, just announcement. Although I am calling it the baby bloom. Over the past months, we've had 11 babies. I had the opportunity to spend time with a new baby in our community recently, and these parents, thank God, have lots of support. They have the time to spend with their new baby. And still, oh wow, the overwhelm on their faces and all over their bodies as they are trying to figure out the newness and the vulnerability and the tender-heartedness of being a new parent. It's so beautiful and so vulnerable. And we enter this traverse in times of assurance. Everything's going to be okay. And also, what is going on? And we do that with the baby, and with the 6-year-old, and with an 11-year-old, and with the 15-year-old, and with the 19-year-old, and on and on. I think it never stops, friends, just in case you have little kids and you're wondering. It doesn't stop. Please help me. We plead for help, the beginning of parenting, and every single year after, traversing the known. I got you. I'm supporting you. Wow, I'm learning about you. I don't know anything at all. Want to know what's inside of me in my week right now? That's about it. I know I don't know. I know I don't know. I'm trying. I'm here. I'm trying. There is so much humility inside of this. Anava, humility. We talk about this midah, this spiritual value, a lot in our community. And mostly we talk about the growing and shrinking of anava in the defining of I take up my space, I take up the space that I need. You can all probably, many of you quote this back to me because we've studied it a lot. And I leave space for you to take up what you need, right? That is humility. I take space, I leave space for you. But I want to add from Psalm 27 another aspect of anava tonight, which is this idea of stepping forward with assurance and trust and drawing back with the unknown and the wondering and the support and the needing of help. I got you. I know what I'm doing. I'm not sure. I need some support. I got you. I know what I'm doing. I'm not sure. I need some support. For ourselves, amen. For our kids, for our friends, for our partners. For our world, oh my, I got you. I'm stepping forward. Oh my Lord, I do not know what is going on. And I need the support. I need your face, God. I need the support. With colleagues, I have realized more and more that this is what makes me comfortable to connect. Is there this humility of knowing and trusting and also not knowing and open to learning and seeking support? This is very much the very place we are headed to in these high holy days. This is it, friends. Assurance, yes. Also, no, I don't know. The psalmist here used the language of adversaries, and I think these adversaries can be these internal struggles of deception and lies and hiding and harm that the tradition asks us to take responsibility for during these high holy days. Help me. Help me. I need to not be alone in this. And the psalmist knows that the help is available. There is such clarity. The help is available. They are so sure of it in the opening and again at the end. And I want to draw that up, that it is there for us. Because I had 2 conversations in the past week with people who are feeling nervous about entering into the High Holy Days. One, because it marks an anniversary that was very painful, and they don't, not like a yay anniversary, but an anniversary, and they're concerned about getting that stirred up. And the other, because they find that when they enter into Yom Kippur, and the kind of taking deep responsibility that they spiral in a way that's so critical and can lead to shame and difficulty that is hard to recover after Yom Kippur. So I want to make a distinction between where we're going and that circling of the drain. To say that our tradition wants us to come from this place. We say this psalm every day. This is assurance. I mean, this is assurance and trust. We are going to be okay. We are held. Even inside our help us, we are held. And the other thing always to remember, that Elohai neshama shanatata bi, that our souls are pure and holy and worthy and good. That's where we start, that place. And if you're not in that place, just stay in that place this whole season till you could say that. My soul, pure, holy, worthy, good. Then we can say the places that we need to work on ourselves. Yes? Psalm 27, the assurances. Elohai neshama. What else do we have that instructs us how we should be like this? Sukkot comes 5 days after. 5 days after our tradition is like, okay. Go outside. You've done a lot of deep work. Go outside, hang out, invite guests into your booth, into your sukkah, and not just that, but have joy. Zman simchatenu, Sukkot, 5 days after. You're supposed to nail the first thing on your sukkah as soon as Yom Kippur ends. That's like, we're going to joy now, friends. We're not staying here. I got 5 days to get it out and get it up. Okay? Elohai neshama, Psalm 27, Sukkot, and Elul. Elul is an acronym for Ani l'dodi v'dodi li. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. Oh, yes, beloved. We are beloved as we enter into this soul work. And the very last thing I want to share is this line, Lulei, that I said was the turning point in this poem. Lulei, if not, unless. From that place of pleading is a lulei. Reminding themselves, the poet is reminding themselves that there is both, that there is hope and doubt. Oh no, yes it is. Lulei spelled backwards is Elul. That is so awesome. So friends, here, we are right here for all of it. This is what it is to be with our beloveds and in our community. At some days you are on one side of the canyon. Woo, I feel good. We got this. We got this. And on other days you're like, I don't know that I have this at all. And I want to end with this beautiful quote from Annie Lamott that she wrote on turning 68. She said, but turning 68 means you weren't born yesterday. It means you've seen what you've seen. Ukraine, Sandy Hook, the permafrost, Marjorie Taylor Greene. By 68, you've seen dear friends literally ravaged by cancer, lost children, unspeakable losses. The midterms are coming up. My mind is slipping. My dog died. Really, to use theological terms, it's just too friggin' much. So what does that leave? Glad you asked. The answer is simple. A few very best friends with whom you can share your truth. That is the main thing. By 68, you know that the whole system of our lives works because we are not all nuts on the same day. You can call someone and tell them that you hate everyone and all of life, and they will be glad you called. They felt that same way 3 days ago, and you helped them, pulled them out of it by making them laugh, or a cup of tea, or you took them for a walk or to Target. And this is exactly what it is to see ourselves in community, friends. To be, I see you. I talk to you when we're here. Or I don't talk to you, but I sing really loud and jump up and down next to you at the service. Or I offer you one of those gluten-free brownies. Or I say, let's get together. I see you all the time. Let's get together and take a walk, because let's not be all nuts on the same day. This is what it is to be together inside this canyon. So may you be in your always changing, tender humanness, feeling the confidence and trust and shaky, fragile, unknown, deeply secure. Shaky, fragile, unknown, deeply secure. And in community and with your beloveds, may we all take turns. Shabbat shalom.
בטוב